2 hours, 31 songs. Taylor Swift's latest album, The Tortured Poets Department, has created a frenzy. With a polarizing reception and mixed reviews, fans are questioning, has Taylor gone too far with this one, or is this the next big evolution of her artistry? From intimate personal revelations to overblown public personas, this album dives deep into Taylor's complex life. But what is fact and what's pure spectacle? Today, we'll dissect the layers of this album, exploring its artistry, branding, and the myths that surround Taylor's public image. Number 5. The Tortured Poet Persona. Taylor Swift's tortured artist persona is front and center in the Tortured Poets Department. But is she really the tortured poet she claims to be, or is this just a well-crafted image? Her music has always drawn from personal experience, but this album takes it a step further with highly specific lyrics about her exes, rumored lovers, and private moments. While some fans adore this deep dive into Taylor's personal life, others argue it's crossing the line between vulnerability and self-indulgence. Has Taylor turned her pain into a product, or is she genuinely opening up to her audience? The personal has become part of the brand, leaving us to question whether it's still about the art or about selling the Taylor Swift story. Let's move on to the sound and production of the album, which has faced some criticism. Number 4. Sound and production. Taylor's collaborations with Jack Antonoff have shaped her recent sound, but with the Tortured Poets Department, some fans and critics argue that the production feels repetitive. While the dreamy synths and layered beats are familiar and comforting, they're starting to feel stagnant. After albums like Folklore and Evermore, it's hard not to expect something new. This album lacks the freshness and boldness of Taylor's earlier work, and there's a sense that she's relying too heavily on established sounds instead of pushing herself creatively. The production isn't bad, but it feels safe, almost formulaic. Is this album more about the spectacle of the persona and the lyrics, rather than about musical evolution? The music may be emotionally resonant, but it's not groundbreaking. So does the music live up to the hype, or is it just part of Taylor's larger brand? Let's now examine how Taylor's personal life plays into the lyrics of this album. Number 3. The Taylor Swift Cinematic Universe. Taylor Swift has built an entire cinematic universe around her personal life. Fans, especially Swifties, have become obsessed with decoding her lyrics, linking them to her relationships and private moments. The Tortured Poets Department continues this trend, with fans speculating about who each song is really about. Is it about Joe Alwyn, Maddie Healy, Travis Kelce? While this makes the album an experience, it also raises the question, does this obsession with Taylor's real life detract from the music itself? The focus on her personal narrative risks turning the album into a spectacle rather than a genuine artistic expression. It's as though Taylor is relying on the lore around her personal life to keep her fans engaged, rather than letting the music speak for itself. While this approach has its merits, keeping her fans hooked, it risks overshadowing the artistry of the album. Is this a reflection of Taylor the artist, or just a spectacle of Taylor the brand? Let's shift gears and examine the songwriting itself.
Number 2. Lyrics. One of Taylor's defining traits is her ability to write deeply personal and introspective lyrics. But in the Tortured Poets Department, some critics argue that she's gone too far into overshare territory. Tracks like Charlie Puth and High School contain lyrics that feel more like diary entries than crafted songs. While vulnerability is often celebrated in art, in this case, some listeners feel that it crosses a line into overexposure. The rawness of Taylor's lyrics is meant to connect. But does it become self-indulgent? Is her emotional honesty enriching the music, or does it make the album feel more like a product of personal pain for consumption? It's clear that Taylor is pouring her emotions into this work, but at times it feels like the emotional impact is more manufactured than genuine. Some songs almost feel like they're trying too hard to make an emotional connection, pushing the boundaries of self-expression into uncomfortable territory. So, while the vulnerability is there, does it enrich the music, or does it detract from the artistry? Now, let's examine how the album as a whole fits into the larger context of Taylor Swift's career. Number 1. The Tortured Poet brand. With the Tortured Poets Department, Taylor Swift isn't just releasing an album, she's building her brand. The tortured artist image has become a central part of her identity, but is it truly reflective of her artistry, or just another way to sell records. Taylor has mastered the art of weaving her personal life into her music. But as her career has progressed, it feels more like she's selling the narrative of Taylor Swift than focusing purely on the music itself. The album is a spectacle, 31 tracks meant to keep fans captivated by every lyric, every clue, every detail of her personal life. But at what point does the music stop being the focus and the spectacle becomes the product? While there's no denying Taylor's talent, it's hard to ignore how much her personal brand dominates the conversation. The real question is, has Taylor sacrificed the authenticity of her music to become a brand? The album certainly plays on this dynamic, but does it work? Taylor Swift's The Tortured Poets Department is an ambitious album full of lyrical depth and emotional intensity. But with its focus on personal narrative and brand building, it raises important questions about the balance between art and spectacle. Is Taylor truly embracing her role as a tortured poet, or is she using it to sell a product? With 31 tracks and an overload of personal details, the album is a complex, multifaceted journey that challenges both her fans and critics. As Taylor continues to evolve as both an artist and a public figure, The Tortured Poets Department will likely be remembered as a key moment in her career, a moment that reflects the complexities of being both an artist and a brand in today's music industry.